प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः।
ओम प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः. From yesterday, we started thinking of studying Bhagavad Gita, one of the great scriptures, one of the comprehensive scriptures which contains essence of all Upanishads. And now, yesterday we thought of this shloka from the Gita Dhyanam, which has 9 shlokas, most probably composed by Sridhar Swami. And then we saw from the colophon, which is given at the end of each chapter, that Bhagavad Gita is sung by Bhagwan mostly, but sung mainly about Bhagwan, song celestial. And then we saw from the colophon Bhagavad Gita Su, that all chapters are considered as Gitas, and Upanishad Su. And we saw the meaning of the word Upanishad, that it is the knowledge which the rishis or incarnations have, the consciousness of one reality appearing as I, you, he, she, it throughout the world. And that knowledge, if we get in place of today's our wrong knowledge or ignorance vanishes, destroyed forever, and we get our real nature, which is divine, which is Atman, which is Ishvara, which is Brahman. And then all our bondages are loosened, that means they are over. Bondages of ignorance, bondages of imperfection, bondages of desires, all that is gone. That is the meaning of the word Upanishad. And Gita has several of those Upanishads. And then Brahma Vidya, it gives us it cultures the Brahma consciousness in our experience, in our consciousness, in our heart. And it has several methods for doing that. That is Yoga Shastri. Shankaracharya says, Yoge tu tat prapti upaye. Yoga means the upaya or methodology of getting that result. And we discussed that it has to be a definite path. You cannot go as you like. Though there may be many paths, 18 paths in the Gita, but there has to be a definite path. And then thinking of Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, we thought more of Arjuna in the beginning. And yesterday, while thinking of Arjuna, we saw only one incident, one or two, that he chose Shri Krishna because he knew he was Bhagavan. And when this Bhagavan, his charioteer, his friend, philosopher and guide, when Arjuna was baffled, then he appealed to him that I am your disciple, you are my guru, please teach me, I surrender to you. And then the Gita came up. Now, in that respect, I told you a little more Arjuna is necessary. Arjuna was a Kshatriya by blood. Now, we have to follow him does not mean we have to become Kshatriyas or we have to go to war. No. Arjuna was the most dutiful person, duty-conscious person that we have to follow. In front of duty, He does not think of any happiness, dishappiness, sorrow, dangers, nothing. In that respect, I will tell you two stories. Now, once after the five Pandavas married Draupadi in common, to maintain her purity, it was decided among themselves that if any brother is sitting alone with Draupadi in a room, other brother should not enter that room. And if by mistake or for any reason he does enter, then he has to go out of palace for 12 years. Now, Arjun was toward the front of the palace, and some poor men were shouting, "Our cows have been stolen by robbers. Oh Arjuna, please help us." Now, Kshatriya means it is his duty to see no injustice is done anywhere, especially in their own kingdom. And so Arjuna said, "Wait, I am coming." And when he went to fetch his weapon, all they found to his surprise that the eldest brother Yudhishthir and Draupadi, they were sitting in the weapon room. Now, isn't it a dilemma? Any so-called man would have said, "What could I do? They are sitting there. We have promised not to enter, so I will not be able to help." That is not Arjuna. He entered, drew out his weapon, and drove out all the robbers and returned the cows to those poor people. And then modern people will say, we see this in politics very often, "Oh, for that purpose I had to do. For that purpose I had to do." No, we have promised that if somebody enters, he will have to take the punishment of going out 12 years. So Arjuna goes to Yudhishthir and says, "Eldest brother, now punish me. I am going out." Yudhishthir says, "Arjuna, you did for a very valid reason." Arjuna said, "Nothing doing." So that is Arjuna, incident number one. Now we go to a bigger field, and that also reveals Arjuna's more side of his character. He had certain moral principles in his life, and sentimentally also, and as moral principles also, he had gone to heaven. He was Indra's son, so he had gone to heaven to learn some weapons or something from Indra. Now, there, because he was artist by temperament, there was the heavenly Apsara named Urvashi. So, Urvashi was a great dancer and dance teacher. Arjuna felt that she felt, rather, or both felt, that Arjuna should learn dancing from Urvashi. Now, Urvashi taught Arjuna dancing very nicely. Now, she became infatuated with Arjuna's manliness, and she proposed, "You marry me?" Now, this very Urvashi was married to Arjuna's distant forefather. And they, heavenly names, they say we are always virgins. Arjuna said, "You may be thinking like that, but for me, you are great grandmother. I cannot think of marrying you," number one. Number two, you are my teacher, and shall a student marry a teacher? I can't tolerate this idea. At the point of making Urvashi very angry, she thought it is an insult to her womanhood, and she cursed him. Because of this point, he underwent that curse. She said, "You will become impotent. You will become a man, not a man. You will become a third gender person, eunuch." Then Indra had to intervene, but Indra said, "The curse once given cannot be withdrawn fully. But we can make it that it will be for 1 year that you will become eunuch." and it may help you in your life. Now, in that life, they had played, Yudhishthira had played rather dice with Duryodhan. That was a standing tradition or rule among the Kshatriyas that if somebody challenges you for dice, you cannot say no. Of course, you don't know playing dice, it was a different thing. But Yudhishthira was interested in dice. And so he had to accept. And they were playing full of cheating. Duryodhana would not play. On behalf of Duryodhana, his maternal uncle Shakuni would play. And Shakuni's father had died. And from his bones, the dice were made. And those dice were such that whatever Shakuni would order, they would follow. These were the treacher died. But Yudhishthira accepted, and Yudhishthira went on playing, and one after the other game he went on losing, and then he had lost all his kingdom, all his property, and then he started bidding his brothers, himself, and Draupadi also. Now, at that point, the wicked Duryodhana and his wicked councils, Shakuni, Karna, and his Dushasana younger brother. Duryodhana ordered. Now Draupadi was during a menses period, but he pulled her by the hair and brought her in front of all the kings and started disrobing her. And Duryodhana was making sign, bearing his lap to sit there. And then Bhima and others would have smashed him there itself. But Yudhishthira said, no, we are bound. And so we should not do anything now. When the time comes, we shall see. And Bhima had promised, I will shatter the heart of this Dushasana. I will break the lap, the thigh of this Duryodhana, etc. Now, at that point, Gandhari intervened to Duryodhana's mother and said, cancel all this, give back their kingdom, free them. All the brothers, Yudhishthira and Draupadi, let them be as they were. And so Duryodhana saw everything is lost. So he asked his father. Father was blind and too much attached to Duryodhana. So he asked permission from his father to allow us to play one more game. And there the bets will be that one who loses will go to forest for 12 years and spend 1 year incognito. And if they are discovered during that period, they will have to undergo forest life for another 12 years with such hard bets. And result was known because that was the crooked dice. So Shakuni won and Pandavas had to go to forest for 12 years. And after that, the time came for their life incognito. At that time, Arjuna took up that eunuch role which was designated for him for 1 year. And he took the name Brihannala and they all went to beyond Kaurava's kingdom to Virata's kingdom. And they put all their weapons and conch shells special on a tree outside the capital. They hid them all under the leaves of that tree. And then one by one they entered. Yudhishthira became dice player or a sabak companion of King Virat. And Bhima became the head cook in their palace, and Arjuna became Brihannala, and he started teaching dance to Virata's daughter Uttara. And Nakul and Sahadeva were expert in dealing with horses and cows, and they took charge of those departments. And Draupadi became the maid servant of the Queen Sudeshna. And she told, I am married. I have 5 Gandharva husbands, superior beings, and they will not allow anybody to touch me beyond modesty. But what happened? Virata's brother-in-law, Sudeshna's brother, he was a giant of a person, and he was the commander-in-chief of Virata's army, named Kichak. And Kichak's evil eyes fell on Draupadi. And he asked his sister to send her to me. She could not resist because he had a high office. Along with it, he was her brother. And so he wanted to misbehave with Draupadi. Now, what could Draupadi do? They were all incognito. Though she had told, my 5 Gandharva husbands will punish. They did not bother about it. So secretly, she went to Bhima in the kitchen and told him her predicament. Then Bhima told her, you pretend as if you are agreeing to the Kichak proposal and ask him to come midnight in the king's dancing chamber, the Natya Mandir or Nritya Mandir. And you do not go there, I'll manage. And Bhima went there, covered himself with some bed sheets and lie down there. And Kichaka was enamored. So he entered at the proper time and saw somebody covered with bed sheet. He thought, obviously it is Draupadi. So when he shook, Bhima came out and killed him in wrestling bout. And it was found in the morning that somebody has killed him. Then Kichaka had his 100 brothers, almost same time. And then they thought it is because of Draupadi this has happened. So along with Kichaka's body, they tied Draupadi to a cart and were carrying to the crematorium. Bhima went outside the city and smashed all 100 of them. Now, this was not a small news. This spread throughout India, and the Kauravas thought, he must be Bhima who can kill Kichak and his 100 brothers. So we have found in a way. So then he made a trick. In the north of Virata's kingdom, there was an enemy king, and they were friends with Duryodhana. So he told him to attack Virat from the northern side. Now, the commander-in-chief was not there, so Virat, the king himself, took all his army, the chariot, all his army, the charioteers, and everybody, and went to fight with that king on the northern side. At that time, the whole Kaurava party, including the grandsire Bhishmacharya, the archery teacher Dronacharya, and Karna, and Duryodhana and Dushasana and everybody Shakuni, they attacked Virat from the south side and stole the cows. There also same problem. And then the keepers shouted, cows are being stolen away. A big party has come. Now, in the palace, the only male member in his charge, the king had left everything, was Uttara, his son. So the ladies there said, Uttara, now it is your duty. You have to protect the cows. Uttara said, brag, I could have done, but there is no chariot here. Draupadi told this dance teacher, Purannala, had driven chariot once. So he no charioting. So please take him and go and fight. Now he had no excuse. So Arjuna went as charioteer to Uttar. And when they went to the front and Uttara saw that huge army, he panicked. He jumped and started, no, I can't fight, I go back. Now same point. Arjuna could not tolerate cows being stolen, especially from the king who has given them support for 1 year. So he told Uttara, you do one thing, you be the charioteer, I shall see. And he took the chariot outside the city and took out his conch, which was a very special conch, and he blew that conch. That means he declared, I am Arjuna coming to fight with you. And he took out his special bow, Gandiva, and gave a, he drew the rope of the bow and left it with the sound, dun, dun. So he declared, I am Arjuna coming. And single-handedly, he defeated all the Pandava, all the Kaurava army. Now, when he went there, he faced one moral problem. Bhishma, the grandsire, is there. Drona, the Acharya revered teacher, is there. And how to fight with them? But unless I fight with them, how can I retrieve the cows? So he solved this problem in his own mind. 2 arrows he sent in such a way that they fell at the feet just below the chariot of Bhishmacharya and Dronacharya. Bhishma told Drona, see, Arjuna has come and he has bowed down to you and me. Now see his fight. Again 2 arrows. They went very near the ears of Bhishma and Dronacharya. And Bhishma told Dronacharya, your disciple has taken my permission and your permission. Now see his fight. So that is the way in which Arjuna had solved that problem. And then he used his weapons, his Mohini Astra, which deluded, which made everybody swoon and sleep, except Bhishma and Drona. They were not, Arjuna did not attack them, or they could not be attacked. Arjuna told Uttara, your sister always likes to play with dolls. Go and collect all the silken robes of all the people. Don't go near Bhishma and Drona. Now it was done. And Duryodhana was happy. We have discovered Arjuna, we have discovered Arjuna. We are lost, that is nothing. But they will have to go to forest once more. At that point, Bhishma said, I have calculated. And in a span of 100 years, once there comes, just like the leap year in India, Adhika Mas, Malamas, there comes a Kshaya Mas. That means 1 month is lost in the span of 100 years. So that has already happened. Their 13 years are over. Arjuna did not know. Duryodhana did not know. Duryodhana did not know, so he was happy. Arjuna did not know. He was ready to put himself and his brothers and Draupadi to another 12 years of his forest life, mind you. But cows will not be stopped. That is Arjuna. And there again the moral side came up. When it became known to Virat that they are Pandavas because the 1 year was over, that they are Pandavas, then he proposed Arjuna should marry his daughter Uttara. There again, Arjuna said, no, she has been my student. I cannot marry my student. If you want a political agreement that your kingdom should become our allies, then I propose she is fit for my son Abhimanyu. So she can marry. And that took place. So we have seen all the sides of Arjuna. This is Arjuna. Duty, morality, otherwise, On the other side, whenever Arjun went out, he got another wife. So along with Draupadi, he had 3, 4 more wives. So he was not free from the desire. So in that respect, he is like us. He has imperfections, so he is like us, but he has duty conscious, moral principles that distinguishes him. And that is why we are supposed to follow Arjuna in his characters, not in the war. And then only we can understand what Krishna is teaching. That we saw yesterday through Dhaneshwar Maharaj is telling that Arjuna is already sitting. If you think you are fit to sit in his line, then you enter. Otherwise, it is for all. Now, let us think the other side. Krishna Arjuna Samvade. What about this teacher? And I will tell you a thrilling incident taught to all of us by supremely revered Holy Mother Sarada Devi. Unexpected. The context is different, but we have to bear. We'll have a great bearing on this. I was taking some classes in Rishikesh and Prashna Upanishad was to be studied. And Prashna Upanishad, there is Pippala, there is the teacher, and he satisfied 6 sadhakas, and evidently he is an all-knower. But in the introduction, the great Shankaracharya says he is like an all-knower. Sarvagya Kalpa. So it struck me before taking the class how it is. Why not told is Sarvajna? So I had no communication with Holy Mother in those days. But one of my listeners, a Gujarati sannyasini, had connection with the Holy Mother through her meditation. So Holy Mother is not a thing of the past. Just 10, 15 years back, this happened. I told that lady, please ask Holy Mother during your meditation why Pippalada is called like a Sarvajna and not a Sarvajna. Let us see what she has to tell us. And when she asked, Holy Mother said, because it appears to be a human being, a person, so we will not call him Sarvajna. We will call him like Sarvajna only. And as an example, he said, have you read the Gita? Now, just now we see that in the colophon it is Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvad. But in the Gita proper, nowhere Shri Krishna Uvacha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. That is a fact which all of us know, but nobody, it does not strike anybody. And Holy Mother has pointed out, there is Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Duryodhana Uvacha, Sanjay Uvacha, Arjuna Uvacha, but nowhere Shri Krishna Uvacha. Otherwise, we could have told that Shri Krishna also, if he is a person, as Sarvajna Kalpo, not Sarvajna. But Gita is an authentic book because Bhagavan is talking. That is what Holy Mother pointed out. Remember, Shri Bhagavan Vacha everywhere. So it is not a human being which is teaching this Gita. So you understand, though in the colophon it is called Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvad, but thinking of Shri Krishna, we understand he is not a man. And this fact is borne by the great Shankaracharya in his introductory commentary and throughout the Gita also. But this has been pointed out by Holy Mother, Sarada Devi. So, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvad means Bhagwan as the Guru and a sadhak, idealistic sadhak as his disciple. So, this is the great scripture one more point. When we study any spiritual book, we first study the four anubandhas, four things which go with any scriptural study. Unless these four things are awake in our mind, we cannot follow rightly the spiritual teachings. That is called anubandha, bound to that main subject. And they are not in a particular order because they depend on each other. Adhikari, Vishaya, Sambandha, Prayojan. Adhikari means for whom it is there, who will benefit by that. Common man, as I told you, if he wants to become uncommon, then he will benefit. So there are certain characteristics necessary for fitness to understand spiritual scripture. Here, it is personified in the figure of Arjun. And that is why we studied Arjun. In the figure of Arjun, all the necessary requirements are already established. So we need not think of Adhikari in the technical sense. We know we have to be like Arjun. We have to be fully dutiful, following our own duties. And we have to have moral values only. Then only we can learn. And we have to accept Guru. We have to accept to be changed as per Guru's advice. That is spiritual life. We do not see our mind works in Maya, in the deceptive world, deceptive power of God Himself. So we cannot determine what is right and wrong, what is real sadhana and not sadhana. But a person who is beyond his teachings, we must accept, we must follow, we must follow the changes which he wants us to do, then only we can get the result. So this is the study of Adhikar in simple English, for whom or who will benefit. And subject matter we have been studying with the help of the name, with the help of Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra, we have studied the subject matter. The subject matter is the knowledge of who am I. The subject matter is the change of consciousness according to the nature of absolute truth. That is the subject matter. And then Vishaya. So, in simple English, what we are going to study, that we must know. What is the subject matter? Now, Prayojan, purpose for what we are studying. We are not studying a book, just a book. We are not studying history or geography or management or economics or sociology in the Vedas, nothing of that sort. We are studying, the purpose for our study is to get perfection. Purnatva. Some people think moksha, not to be born again. To me, this idea has never appealed. Because why we should not be born again? If we have the knowledge, with that knowledge, we can be born hundreds of times. We can be helpful to people also. So we need not think of that. If moksha means freedom from bondage, then it is all right. Freedom from imperfection, that is all right. But to my mind, perfection, nirdosha purna, according to Jesus' language, be thou perfect, even as thy Father in heaven is perfect. So I am better than my friend is not sufficient. I have to be perfect, even as I conceive God to be perfect without the slightest blemish. That is the aim of life. If I become full, then there is no imperfection. If there is no imperfection, there is no question of bound to be born again. There is no question of desires, imperfection, due to which you are born again. And so, free will, we can be born, that is a different thing. So, perfection, as God is perfect, Gita itself will tell, Nirdoshami samam brahma, tasmat brahmanite sita. So, we will be established in our own real nature, we will get perfection. That is the purpose of study of the Gita. Not to study the economic, sociology, politics or anything, but the most important thing is the sambandha. Purpose we can say, what for, why we study. Now the sambandha, how we study. What is the connection between this study and our goal of life? Rather, how we study to get that goal of life. If we study from grammar point of view, from this or that point of view, from a scholastic point of view, who wrote the Gita, in what year it was written, and we will not get anything. So, the how in Gita proper, I have already said that Gita asks us to change. Mainly, finally, we have to change our consciousness. But today, we are not in the grip of our consciousness even. We are under the delusion of a body and the mind and so many other things. So, we have to change our work. We have to change our attitude in work. We have to change the mode in which we are thinking, feeling, will, imagine. Everything we have to change. In the Gita itself, in the 13th chapter, Shloka 7 to 11, 20 qualities of the mind are told. And the Lord himself says, Etad jnanamiti proktam, ajnanam yadato anyatha. This is called knowledge. You understand? Shankar says it is the helpful to knowledge, but Bhagavan himself says this is knowledge. Why? We have to know, say we have to know tree, then we have to study botany is our knowledge, zoology is our knowledge, sociology is our knowledge. Here, we have to know Brahman, we have to realize our own real nature. The obsession is the wrong things of our mind. And so, if we cultivate these 20 characteristics of the mind as given in the Shloka 7 to 11 of 13th chapter of the Gita, then that is knowledge. Because then in that mind, our real nature will manifest by itself. So our aim will be gained. So how in connection with Gita will say how to change our mind. What is the direction in which you have to change our mind? And before that, we may have to change our physical habits. Our physical habits have been built upon our wrong knowledge for how many lives we do not know, beginningless life. And so we have to, so when we study Gita, we have to continuously seek this point. What is the change which the Lord wants us to do? What is the change physically, mentally, and in consciousness Lord wants us to do? That is called the connection. In this respect, I am tempted to tell that in throughout the world, including Ramakrishna Mission, I have not found people laying sufficient emphasis on this point of how. They just say Pratipadya Pratipadaka Bhava. That means the nature of Brahman is to be told, and that is told in this book. No. Bodhya Bodhaka Bhava, arousal of that consciousness. Then we have to study in such a way that our consciousness is aroused. And as I have said, the best way to think is how to change. So that I learned as a very special feature from my Guruji in Nagpur. Anyway, so these are the Anubandha Chatushtaya in relation to Gita. Now, let us turn to Shankar's introductory commentary on the Gita. We are studying Gita with the help of Shankar's commentary. And there also, I told why we are studying Shankar's commentary. Because Shankar has said in this commentary that many people have commented basing upon the word and the word meaning and the sentence meaning, but it has resulted in the common man getting opposite ideas. Some people say Gita teaches this, some people say Gita teaches this. Basing upon those interpretations of Pada Padartha Vakyartha. So Pada Padartha Vakyartha is not sufficient. Shankar says, I am using a simple trick. Vivekata Pradarshaishyama. Viveka. What is that Viveka? What is right and what is wrong? What is truth and what is untruth? What is the real nature and what is the unreal nature? Basing upon this, I am making my commentary. So, we have to study Shankar's commentary. Nobody else has proposed like this. According to my opinion, I am doing. According to my opinion, I am doing. Swami Vivekananda said, this Gita was hidden in the Bhishma Parva of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is not epic. That word is wrong. Because of the Western Homer and Odyssey and their epics. History. Mahabharata and Valmiki's Ramayana is accepted in our country as itihasa. This is story. This is what happened. Not everything what happened, but this is well known to have happened. That is called history. And Mahabharata is a history. And in that history, there are 18 sections, parvas, and there is a Bhishma Parva. That means Bhishma was the captain of the Kaurava army for the first 10 days. And on the 10th day, he fell down on the bed of arrows. In those 10 days, what happened? There, the Gita comes in. And it lay as a part of that history. It was the genius of Shankaracharya, Swami Vivekananda is telling. He brought it out from there and said it is a great scripture. Other commentators followed him afterwards. And they started propounding their own philosophies with the help of Gita. Shankar has done it Vivekata, and it is Shankar's glory that he showed to the whole world that Gita is a great scripture. And then we have that Gita Dhyanam and Gita Mahatmyam, and it is all Upanishads are the cows and all that. This was pointed out by the great Shankaracharya. And so we study, understand Gita. We don't call it commentary. We call it the real meaning, the implied meaning he has brought out every time and showed us this is the change you have to do. This is Vivekata he has done. So we have opted to study the Shankar Bhashya. I think as much as necessary for introduction, I have told, but let us study how Shankar has introduced it. A little, we just make a start today. If you open, somebody asked me for textbook. I told this is the Gambiranji's translation published by the Advaita Ashrama. It gives the shloka translation and translation of Shankar Bhashya. It does not give Shankar Bhashya in the original. There is another book published by the Ramakrishna Math Madras. by some warrior, and there both the words of Shankar Bhashya and its translations are given. So those who want to follow are welcome to follow that book or this book as they like. I would not go in that way. I would read the Sanskrit original and side by side, translate it in English or tell the meaning in English and read the Shankara's implied meaning. So that is the way we shall proceed. Now, in the beginning, Shankar said, this could have been enough for the day, but I want to make a start today. So, as we open the introduction, Shankar has given one shloka. People say it is customary to make a Mangalacharan. Shankar is not bound by any such customs. In many books, he has no Mangalacharan. Where will he go? But here, he is showing the truth itself through the Mangalacharan. Om Narayana Paro Avyakta Andam Avyakta Sambhavam Andasyantarime Loka Saptadvipa Chamedini. It is only a statement of fact, very important statement of fact. Om, we need not consider immediately. Om means we may just remember it is the nearest, dearest, unspecified, most general name of both the transcendent and the immanent aspect of the reality. That is Om. We anchor our mind into that and study Narayana. What is Narayana? Nara, Ayana, Narayana. Nara means man. Ayana means the final goal, the final gati. Where does this man finally go? That is Narayana. So Narayana is the ultimate abode of man. Evidently, this word is used by all people to designate Vishnu, that is, the Supreme God has in the relative sphere three aspects: the creator, the preserver, and the destroyer. The name given to that same God when he creates is Brahma. The name given to same God when he preserves is Vishnu. Vishnu is all pervading, same to all, so he preserves. And when he destroys playfully the world, and even by knowledge he destroys it in our mind, he is called Shiva or Mahadev. So this Vishnu is named as Narayana. Narayana means the final goal of all of us is the immanent, all-pervading God, Narayana. And he is Para Avyakta. So if we go like from here, this is the gross world. We'll understand a little roughly today. As we proceed, we will become more and more clear. But because Shankar has given it in the beginning, we must get some idea that this gross world is resolved into subtle world, the subtle world in indiscrete world, and then finally resolved into the reality Parabrahman. So, Avyakta, unmanifested, indiscrete, primordial nature of this world. For example, that which exists in our experience in the deep sleep. We, in waking experience, we experience the gross world. In dream, we experience the subtle world. In deep sleep, we experience without being aware of the Avyakta world. The world is there, but not yet manifested. So, in the cosmos, the Lord, the Creator, this gross world during Pralaya vanishes into subtle world, the subtle world into the Avyakta, yet to be created or after dissolution. From that, again he will create. So that is called Avyakta. Now, Avyakta is beyond this world, Avyakta is beyond the gross, beyond the subtle, but beyond Avyakta is that Narayana. The reality stands beyond even the Creator God, the deserver God. Beyond that is the absolute nature of the reality. So that is Narayana. Narayana, the all-pervading, immanent reality, is where we all will get dissolved, even the primordial world. So he is beyond that primordial world. Narayana Paro Avyakta. Andam Avyakta Sambhavam. Then this whole world, not yet manifested, but in a subtle way, started to get manifested. So we conceive it as egg. In egg, everything about that duck or hen or cock is there, but not yet fully expressed, though inside it is there. So this whole cosmos is conceived as a big egg where the God the Creator hatches it and breaks it. So this under or the unmanifested, to be manifested, about to be manifested world is included in that avyakta. Andam avyakta sambhavam. Anda is born out of that hen. Anda, egg, is born, anda means egg. Egg is born out of that avyakta, the absolutely unmanifested world, the primordial indiscrete world that comes into subtler form to be manifested. So that is conceived as an egg coming out of the creator hen. And then this world which you experience is conceived as different levels, higher and lower. They are called loka. Loka means living places, higher and lower. So they are all inside that egg. From that egg they will come out, manifested, all the different lokas, including those different lokas, including this earth of ours, which has 7 islands. 7 continents are called 7 islands. Rest is ocean, water. In that earth surface, all is ocean or water. Inside, there are 7 islands, which we call 7 continents. So, this is the statement of fact. Why it is given as Mangalacharya? We should know our position. We should know we are a small insect on this earth. This earth is a small, not even a point, a small ball in the big Brahmanda. This Brahmanda is nothing compared to the Avyakta, and beyond that is God. And this very man, we are potentially divine, mind you. So this is the statement of fact given to us in this way to tell us that insignificant though we may appear, potentially we are one with the Lord. This riddle like this fact has been given by Shankaracharya as the Mangalacharya, if you like. And then Sa Bhagavan. Sa, he, that Bhagavan. Which Bhagavan? Narayana. Narayana is called Bhagavan. Bhaga means 6 special qualities which the Creator God possesses are called Bhagav. Shankar will explain it during commentary of the 3rd chapter. But let us understand the special qualities which the Creator, Preserver and Destroyer has other than us. are called Bhagav. And one who possesses them always is called Bhagavan. So Bhagavan, that very Narayana, the final goal of all humanity, has created this Avyakta and Anda and Lokas and Medini on which we live, that very Bhagavan, Srishtva idam Jagat, having created this world, tasya sthitim chikirshu. He wants, he desires. Chikirshu means he desires the stability of this world. We have seen God is creator, preserver, and destroyer of this world. So this preserver God wants the world is created. Let it stay for some time. That is, now the question will arise here itself. Does God desire? Then how is God? We also desire. Shankar in one place had said, what harm is there if God desires? Only the name desire does not make a man. Our desires, most of them lie unfulfilled. And our desires to get fulfilled depend upon our hands and feet and instruments and the outside conditions. Then they may get manifested or not. If God desires, it happens. He does not require many instrumentality. He does not see whether people like or not like or oppose or not oppose. If desires, it comes out. Satya Sankalpa. So there is no harm in God having desire. Don't be deluded by the word desire. Our desires are imperfect. Man's desire, his Supreme Lord's desire. So he does desire the stability of the world. He does not desire that the world is created and let it go to destruction. Ultimately, it will go to destruction. But he desires to keep this world for some time. Tasya cha sitim chikirshu. That much, huh? We'll complete the sentence on Thursday. What he did in order to keep this world intact. So, today we studied Arjuna further, Krishna, the great Bhagavan, as the teacher. We also studied the Anubandha Chatushtaya. What we are studying, who is studying, why we are studying, what is the goal of study, and that we saw the special feature, why, how we study is to get corrected by the teachings of the Lord, corrected physically, mentally, and in our consciousness. And there we saw that Shankara's introduction, Shankara stated the fact of that Lord created this world and wants to keep it for some time. Then what does he do for keeping it for some time? On Thursday. Om Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita-amrita Duhe Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanam.
Prapanna parijataya totra vitraikapanaye jnanamudraya krishnaya Gita-amrita duhe namaha.